Hi everybody, it's July the 5th. Now number 5 is all about change. What changes are going to happen? Oh my God, such an amazing day. I have started off with a reading this morning with a lovely lady, and I will say hi Sandra. I'm not going to give your surname out, don't worry. But I just wanted to give you a shout out if you are listening to this. It was just a fantastic reading, but also we just had this amazing conversation, and it has made me understand so much more about the connections that we make. And I really wanted to blog this today because there's been so much insight again. So first of all, let me just tell you about this amazing dream. And so if any of you were listening to me last year, I talked a lot about August the 17th, number 7 again, and the spiritual tsunami that I saw coming. And I did actually spend the day on the beach that day with my white food and cleansed and waited for the big wave. And it was just a lovely spiritual day actually, because, you know, the whole fact of it, it was like the beginning. The tsunami, the cleansing began. You know, it was like the eclipse we had so much stuff going on. There was this sense of build up coming, and then this year, you know, it's gone boof, 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 all these different changes, all these connections being made. And I've just been discussing about the wake up with this lady, and I picked up certain numbers that came in. I mean, it was just an amazing, amazing connection. And as I've been talking, you know, I've been looking at other numbers of the year and just lots of things. And I don't know if any of you who are listening listen to some of my stuff about the dreams. Again, it was about the waves again I was having, and I'd looked it up, and it was connected to a tsunami back in Italy, off the coast of Italy. Was it the Amalfi Coast, something like that, which is Italy, I think. I think so. I was never very good at geography, so don't quote me. But you know, I looked it up, and there was all these connections, and I'd seen what people were wearing, so I was able to find the year. And I was just like looking, and a few of you came back and gave me your stories, which was great. Which has been part of this. Around that time, it was like the start of this psychic diaries, really, and how it was starting to flow, because all these people started connecting, and now I've got this fabulous breakfast club going, which I just love, and I love you all for coming back every day and sharing your stories. And anyway, so I had all these dreams back then, and then I had a few this year, and I went, oh my God, the tsunami's back, you know, and then everyone's saying, oh, I had one as well. And there was a lot of changes going on at that time. So the night before last, or a few nights ago, I had a dream of, and I keep dreaming of the paintings that I'm doing in the moon connections and the portals opening and all these different things. And that one day I dreamt that the sea was going sideways. Now, I don't know if I spoke about this yesterday, but it was just so crazy. It was like when you look at a picture, you see the waves coming towards you, but this time they were going like rocking like a boat. So the waves were going backwards to the left and to the right, which is really odd. So I thought that was really odd, and then I wanted to go and paint this picture, which I actually haven't finished, but it's a sort of portal, rainbow portal, and I wanted to do a boat going through the portal into the sea. Anyway, so I'm going to try and finish that today, but I do have other things to do. But anyway, last night, or just before I woke up, and I had this reading booked for 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's just sod's law, isn't it? I didn't want to get up this morning. Normally I'm up at the crack of dawn, but hubby actually woke me up, and I was like, oh my God, what a dream. And I was down on the beach, and I was swimming, and the sea was really rough, and there was lots of people around and lots of things going on, and I could feel this energy coming again. So it was like, it's coming, you know, the tsunami's coming. And in these dreams, I always feel it coming, and I'm like, you're gonna have to get out, you've got to get out. And I'm always like really intuitive and ready, and no one else is. Anyway, at one point I looked back at the ocean, and the ocean had frozen, and it had frozen into like a shape of like, I don't know, it looked like it should be words, but I couldn't see the words, but it could have been like shapes, like the clouds make shapes, you know, like dinosaurs and things like that. And I thought, oh my God, it stopped. And then I just wanted to run. And as I did, like I was trying to come out of the pebbles and the shingle and like scraping to come out. And so I finally sort of managed. I was thinking, I've got to get out, I've got to get out. The wave's coming, the wave's coming. And I was like, and everyone started really panicking around me, because they weren't start with, and they were just like, ah, like that. And you imagine trying to run out of something. You know, I'm hoping and praying that this isn't something that I'm seeing coming. And if it does, you know, because I've talked about the storm this month and something really major happening. Anyway, so I'm crashing through. And I finally got up to, those 2 rooms adjacent to each other, and all my animals were in there. And I was thinking, right, and Sean was in one of them as well. And I said, right, come on, get everybody packed up. And I had two cats in my hand because I got 5 cats, so I was counting them. So I had 2 cats in one arm, I had 1 box, and I managed to put 2 in a box, and then I grabbed another one, and Sean had the others, and then I was calling for Frank, my dog, and he came in, and funny enough, he was really stoned, which was really funny. I was like, what have you been smoking? But anyway, that was just really odd. And he comes in, and we were really calm. Now, through all of this, there was this urgency, but we were really calm, and all these people were just going, "Wah!" everywhere like that around us. And then at the end of it, I packed everyone up and I turned around and went and looked at the beach, and there was nothing there. It was completely empty, and the sea had receded and everything was okay. And I went, oh, it's done. And I just thought, oh my God, that just, when I wake up, I thought, God, that's so amazing. You know, that's like, you know, me being calm and emotionally, because obviously the sea is like an emotional thing anyway, and things taking over. And you know, when you're washed over with emotion, I just, you know, when I looked back at the dreams, I realized that this was like me awakening and releasing a lot of emotion. But this is really nice because I was with my animals, I was with my husband, and that was what was important, and we were just looking to what was priority, and we were focusing on that and calming, and everyone else was panicking, but we were okay. And that's what I felt was the big message from this dream, although it could be something bigger. Okay, the fact that the sea changed, but I think the fact that it was still was something that we haven't. Maybe it was like the sea was still because there wasn't really anything happening, but other people were panicking because there isn't anything happening, and because everyone's just gone really still. You know, the world, it's like the calm before the storm again, you know, that sort of thing. So there's lots of images there. No, I don't know what I'm going with this. I've lost my track. But it was just another thing of the again, oh, that was it. When I just before I did the reading, I got a message come through saying there will always be a Brexit. And I was talking to this lady about this, and you know, it's like whatever we do, there's always going to be drama, there's always going to be change, there's always going to be some great big thing going on, but it's whether you enter into it and whether you let it influence you or not. Okay, and whether you allow that to take you from your priorities. And the message is today is, you know, to focus on that. Focus on what's important. Focus on the love you have. You know, when I think about my animals, my husband, they're the biggest things in my life that I love. They're the only things. If, you know, if I had to escape from a fire, they'd be the first things I'd be thinking of, because the pain in my heart to not have those. All the rest can just go to pot, you know. I'm sure I can find a pen and paper somewhere. I'm sure I could, you know, get some, you know, you can bring stuff back, you can recreate, you can, you know, find a way. But if I lost that, that would be just the worst thing. So, you know, and I just feel this journey that we're on, it's like, you know, as long as we only take what's important and we clear away all the other stuff and just ignore, you know, don't allow all the other dramas and all the other stuff to affect us, then we'll be okay. It's just that's the thing that's trying to take us off our path. And right now, everyone's really unnerved. Anyway, we was talking about these numbers today, and I picked up 747, and that we made a connection with something. And I also picked up on 1947. And when I looked up 1947, one of the things that I noticed was, okay, one thing, I am 47 this year, so that's quite a big thing. And on that year, in July, okay, so I'm just going to go back. I'm looking now at the events, but I think I have to go backwards. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm trying to be really fast here. Why isn't this showing me anything? Okay, sorry, to page 1. I have to go back to page 1 because I had to look at July. That was it. So we're in July. So what have we got? So now this is interesting. So the 6th of July. Okay, so I took the number 47, right? So the 6th of July in 1947, the AK-47 goes down into production in the Soviet Union. There you go. The 7th, alleged and disputed Roswell UFO incident occurred. Now, this is huge stuff in July. July the 8th, reports are broadcast that a UFO has crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico. Now, this makes so much sense to what I have been talking about the whole alien thing, and you know, us being in just the body of a shell, and that we have to detach ourselves and be independent of ourselves. And talking to this lady was great because, you know, we're really talking about the fact that we are independent. You know, it was Independence Day yesterday. We are independent of our own choices. We can do what we want. We can either decide to stay in something that's just really uncomfortable, or we can make a choice and get out of it. And, you know, I talk about this so much. You know, you think you haven't got a choice, but you have. You know, if you're still walking, breathing, talking, and you still got, you know, a penny to your name, and you know, you can say something, you've got that ability to speak to someone or communicate something, you have a choice. Even inside, without communicating, you can ignore something or you can move forward. So whatever you look at, there's a choice. And we, you know, if we were to only trust our own intuition and our own beliefs and what was important to us, life would be really easy. But the thing is, we get caught up in too much else going on, and too many issues of, you know, things that aren't that important. And this is just something that, you know, right now everybody needs to be aware of, that we have that magic wand, that we can create that power, that we can do whatever we need, and that everything is starting to fall into place. All these connections are being made, and this was what's so great today. I made this connection, and she's like halfway across the world to me, and, you know, I'm making connections on here, and everybody is all different areas of the world. And what it occurred to me just as we were closing the conversation was that we're making a light network, like a net, literally a net to carry, to hold a safety net, so that if the world does crumble, we can catch it, and it will bounce off and be recreated. So imagine all of us together with all our positive energy, connecting together, working together. We're all different, you know, all these different things coming together. When you look at the pictures that I do with a dragonfly on the moon, there isn't really any connection, I don't think, with dragonflies and moons. I mean, yeah, people might draw them, but I don't think there's like, oh, there's this real spiritual connection with dragonflies, okay? Not really, that's written, not like a wolf in the moon, or, you know. But, you know, what's happening is I'm sort of bringing odd elements together in what I do. I fuse things together. We're bringing food fusion together. We're creating, we're connecting, because that's creating something new. Okay, and actually it's more interesting, it's more exciting. And that's when the magic begins. You know, if you create a new oil, or, you know, a new dish, yeah, food or whatever, you know, it's what you channel to put in it. You know, the greatest chefs, I believe, are the ones that smell as they cook. They're instinctive. They know, they just naturally know, you know, where to go, what to put in. They just sense, oh, I'll put this. You know, where do those ideas come from? You know, they don't sit there poring over books day in, day out. They understand taste. They can taste it in their heads, you know, and it's creating those new things that come together. And, you know, these people, like all of us, all across the world, who are light workers, who have this sort of sense of wanting to, you know, of belief and understanding all these little messages and signs and everything. We're all so different. We're all different walks of life, but somehow we connect on this blog every morning. I mean, how cool is that? Different time zones, everything. Just love it. So today is fantastic. I just love July. I love it. And I'm not going to let go of the good stuff. You know, I don't care what I hear. Anyone says, oh, this is negative. I don't care anymore. I mean, I care only what is important. I care for the good stuff, that we're on a good roll. If you believe that, you will be. But just recognize when something isn't good for you. Recognize when it doesn't feel good. You know, it doesn't make a difference. If it's really going to be meant to be in your life, if something is meant to be, it will make its way back in. It'll be there whether you like it or not. Now, today's visionary, I feel, again, connecting with people overseas, which is what I've done. It's given me more balance. It's given me, more depth to what I've seen, because sometimes I just see stuff and I don't get it. It's like I don't sit and analyze it all the time. I just do what I have to do with it. It's like I just go, ooh, it makes sense, but I'm not quite sure how it makes sense, but it just does. And that's the thing. Just take it all the information you're being given. I imagine if all of us could just do that and reconnect, the whole world did that, we would just have such an amazing, no one would be afraid anymore, because that's what is frightening us. But one of the conversations we're having is this sense that we've all been brainwashed, really. You look about facilities back, years ago when people were being had electric shock treatment. It's almost like everyone's been brainwashed. You've got these good aliens and bad aliens, right? So we're in sort of different bodies, and then you've got the darkness coming into the light, and some of the darkness was what was holding people back, was signing those papers to keep them inside. It's like, well, you're crazy, we don't want to hear, because the crazies are the ones that actually have the insight. They're just going a little bit crazy because they're taking in so much information and they don't know what to do with it. So they're acting out of sorts, or they're blurting out stuff. Can we be sure that that isn't true? Can we be sure that someone is just talking in riddles? Or are they just talking riddles because they're channeling it? And who's been blocking this? We've been blocked for so long. This is massive. All this stuff that's going on politically. And this morning I saw a real big insight that, because again, we're talking about, I said about Reiki and how that started, obviously it's been going for years, but really it started getting recognized about 20 years ago, and people now it's like just a cool thing, it's like, yeah, it's accepted. Whereas I remember when I started, people were like, what's that all about? What's that freaky stuff? What are you doing? Oh yeah, well, how do you explain it? Well, how you don't just put your hands on, how does it work? What button do you press, sort of thing. And the thing is with all of this, it's trust. It's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And now you can like go and to college or to school to learn Reiki. And I was questioning, is where do you get the exam? Why would you do an exam? What's all that about? You shouldn't have to do an exam. You can't do an exam on trust, can you? Can you imagine the questions? So explain. I don't even know what a question would be. There isn't a question. There's no science. It's just it's what it is. It is what it is, guys. And this is happening, and the thing is, now it's becoming a big thing, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and all these things are getting accepted, but they're becoming, it's like what I call the higher up or thing. They're turning it into a science in a way, like, or making it technical, because then it's more accepted and they can understand it better. And I can always see the White House, the UN or whatever, taking over something really big, like sort of, I could just see it now, and saying, and I don't know, the president or whatever, or some great big sort of, I don't know why I'm getting the White House, but that's what I've got. Okay, so this is the White House, and it's like, right, today the legislation is that everyone must heal in the morning or something, and this is the thing now, before you go to work, we all have to do a session of healing on the tube trains, or on the can you imagine? It was like the thing. I've been watching this program, and I don't know if anybody's watched it. I don't know if you can see it overseas. You could get it on Sky anyway, and do it on catch up. It's called The Handmaid's Tale, and it is actually Americans in it, so it must be. But it's fantastic, and it is really a look at how the suppression and what we're here for. And it's like women are just here just to breed, and men cannot be infertile, so they bring in surrogates. People become handmaids and become surrogates to families that haven't got children, because obviously the females not good enough, because it was always the female, but actually it's probably the men. And then when it didn't work with the surrogate, they'd probably impregnate the surrogate, the doctor would, or something. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But women had a curfew, and I mean, it's really, really good. You should watch it. But it's really amazing because it's set in this time, but it's how things would change, or how people could change things. And it's quite scary because they're actually wearing old dress, old, it's like they've gone back to the dark ages, but so restrictively. It's really scary, but it's only in one country. It's only in America, I think in this story, and all the other countries are going, oh, how's that working for you? It's just really bizarre. So just check that out, because it's really good. I've got like half an episode to go. I've been watching it while I've been making the tea, because I just think it's just so cleverly written, and yeah, great. Which gives me insight that I really must put my book out, which is about the game that I've done and the board that I use in the cubes, because that is about simplicity and how the world changes. So I'm going to have a look at that too. So there I'm rattling on again. But today, independence, again, it's massive, is break through those barriers. Spirit is saying, just release the protection in a way. The whole thing about protection, if you need insurance, you generally need it. If you think you need insurance, and there you are. I'm not telling people to not have insurance, because you do need that, obviously, with cars and things like that. But if you want to look at it in that sort of big thing, it's like saying, well, we all have protection, right? So sexually transmitted diseases, all that, But if you were to check yourself out before you had sex with somebody, right? Yes, it may not prevent you getting pregnant, but you could, you'd be protected from other things because you would have already sought advice. So it doesn't mean, do you see what I mean? It's like, yes, a condom, okay, we're getting a bit deeper, can keep something at bay, right? But it doesn't solve the problem if somebody's got a sexually transmitted disease anyway. It's not going to protect the person who's got it. A condom isn't going to protect the guy who's wearing it if he's already got something horrendous. The person that will get, the protection would be to get yourself checked out and make sure that you have your partner checked out before you do anything. Because even if you wear a condom, you're the one that's still unprotected, but the person you're obviously having sex with is protected. So, but even then, condoms can have holes in. Things can happen, So how much more protection can you put up? All right. So think about what, protecting yourself from, and whether you may be protecting somebody else and you're not protecting yourself. Okay. The whole condom story. Okay. Might have to write that one. The saying is that, are you protecting yourself from your own happiness? There's a lot of luck around today, and there's, again, there's abundance coming in if you let down those barriers a little bit. Yes, use crystals, use whatever, self-belief, but if you can do it with your mind. You can create light around you by, manifesting it, visualizing, bring back your own magic. You have the magic to do whatever you want. You've got the magic within you to make yourself. No one can do that for you. I, as a reader, as a light worker, can give you insight and can give you the tools, the ways to do it. But you need to do this yourself. You have to do the work. You got to get, again, with the program, you've got to get on your own program. You are the program. You program yourself. You are the computer technician. Your mind is your hard drive. All right? So when it's got tired, change the hard drive. You only have to do that with a thought. Okay? It's simple. Here I am preaching again. So fate is around. Fate is stepping in. You've got opportunities, second chances. It's like take two. And this is less effort. It's easy. This is so simple that you're being asked to go the simple route. It's less pressure. And once you do that, you're going to make a commitment to heal for good. You're healing not only you, you're showing other people how to do that. Focus on your well-being today. Celebrate as much as you can. And make the big wishes, Have the biggest vision. Why stop there? Why stop at 5? Go to 10 if that's what you want. Don't just go, oh, I'll just stay at 5, because that would be ungrateful, wouldn't it? Or that might be a bit selfish. So what? If you go to 10 or 20 or 30, you could help somebody else as well. You could offer them some advice. You'd have maybe, it's like saying, well, yeah. I mean, my husband always says to me, because I always say, well, enough. I'd be quite happy with 40 grand or whatever in the, the lottery or whatever. And he's like, no, I want the lot. I used to go, that's a bit greedy, isn't it? But actually, he's right. So why not? And I just thought to myself, yeah, actually, if I had loads, I could do so much. The amount of things I could put out there, because I could have the workforce, right? If I had all that, okay, one thing I'd be able to, one dream come true, you all know, I could go and live in that fabulous place in Spain that I've always wanted to, which would be nice and restful and give me peace of mind. I wouldn't have to worry about money. I could employ people to help me do the work that I do. It would be giving them jobs. I could be inspiring them at the same time. I could put out all the workshops that I need to do. I'd be able to have the technical you know, to be able to buy the stuff that I need to network, to do what I had to do and make things better. So thank you, universe. I'm saying thank you today, because that is what I need it for. I need it for me so that I can absolutely make a difference, you know. And actually I need a lot, and I need it pouring in constantly all the time now. And you can hear me now on Psychic Blog, Daily Psychic Diaries. Here I am now saying it's okay, bring it on. Okay, I want it. Yeah, I want it all. Come on, because do you know what? Yes, people can say money's the root of all evil, but it doesn't have to be. If you keep saying that, it's going to be, isn't it? If you use it in the right way, if you use your power in the right way, like I am manifesting it for the good. You know, I need to do stuff. I've got so much stuff I need to do, but I haven't got enough hours in the day and I haven't got enough manpower. And oh my God, you know, people that haven't got jobs, I could be doing that. I could be paying them the highest wage. They could be living in like that too. How fabulous would that be? So actually I'd like a never-ending river fountain, please, universe. I'm putting it out there now. So everybody, I want you to all clap now and go, yeah, and let it shower in. So anything to do with young people, youth, childhood, anything that feels inspirational or freeing, you know, do. And writing particularly, relationships are well starred with anything to do with young people, I feel, or you know, new relationships. If there's somebody you meet that's younger, slightly younger than you, I feel it's going to be good, you know. And there's definitely this sense of promotion. You might hear from somebody today that is from your childhood, but I feel it's going to lead to promotion. It will help you rest at ease as well. It's going to help you rest. You may hear something you don't want to hear, but just be creative with it and just use that to make you more passionate. You don't need to fight this battle like that. If you do it with skill and finesse, the war will be short. You can get that done and go home and have a nice cup of tea. Okay, so do that. Your insight is really strong on an emotional level, so get the balance. I'm going to have a nice treatment today of kinesiology again, and I shall get back to you tomorrow to tell you how that went. But I'm in such a good place, and I'm going because I feel good, not because I'm desperate. I'm going because I just want something nice and a bit of healing and some more, and I want to go even higher. You know, if you go and you're feeling really rough, you can only get up to feeling better, can't you? I want to feel even better than better than better. I want to feel the best, everybody. God, I'm on such a high at the moment. I just want to just do this before I go, because I just don't shut up, and I'm just going to just pull a card for today. Just have a look at that. Old patterns, get rid of them. Stop crying. Yeah, stop dry those tears. If you didn't keep going down the same path all the time, you wouldn't be crying again. So stop crying because you've done it. Just get on with it. Wipe away the tears and look at the opportunities that this is giving you. Look at the opportunities that are in front of you. The truth is right in front of you. Have a great day, everybody. Love you all, and thank you for your lovely messages. And thank you, Becky, for your email. I haven't read it yet because I haven't had a moment, but I will do in any moment. And yes, confirming our appointment for the 11th of July. I think it's the 11th. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye for now. Oh, and remember to subscribe. And if you want a private reading, just follow the links. See you later.